Welcome to the Real Estate Finder podcast. I'm Matthew Maschler, real estate broker with the signature real estate companies here in the great state of Florida. And with me, a very special co-host, one day only, the special co-host of the Real Estate Finder podcast, Lindsey Maschler. Hi, Lindsey.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
This is Lindsey's first time on the Real Estate Finder podcast.
Yeah.
We had her on the Matthew Mania podcast last year talking about her college search. And when we scheduled her to come back to the studio, I thought we were going to do the Matthew Mania podcast, but I switched it on her and made it the Real Estate Finder podcast.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. So we're going to talk about real estate.
Oh, no.
And something that we don't talk about in real estate that often is college dorm rooms.
Well, yeah, because you don't go through a real estate agent. You go through a college.
You don't go through a real estate agent, but there is a whole process, right?
Yeah.
You know, there's a selection process, and then there's choices to be made. So it's real estate, man.
I mean, I guess.
So how was 1 year of college?
It was really fun. I like college. I want to go back.
Oh, good. I'm glad. And tell me about the dorm, though.
I mean, it was like your average dorm. I got really lucky and, I didn't have mold, rats, or bats.
Mold, rats, or bats?
Or ceiling crumbling down. Which doesn't work because it's a multi-layered dorm room.
Yeah, but you still have ceiling tiles above you if people are jumping on their floor. One man's floor is another man's ceiling.
Oh no, the lacrosse team went down the hall and broke all the ceilings and the entire dorm had to pay multiple $100s for it.
I got an email about that.
Yeah.
That was earlier in the semester.
That was earlier in the semester, but yeah, I got lucky, but I didn't have any of that.
No rats, bats.
Mold, ceilings crumbling, water damage. Although we did have some anti-Semites, but...
There was some anti-Semitic graffiti.
Yeah, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
That's not on the dorm's fault. I mean, I guess it's the dorm's fault, but it's not the dorm's fault.
So I remember when I was a freshman in college, I was in a traditional 2-person dorm room, bathroom down the hall.
Yeah.
That's what you had?
Yeah.
And what was the name of your dorm?
This complex is called Marsh, Austin, Tupper, and it's 3 connected into one, but I was in Tupper.
And that's the type of dorm you wanted?
No, but the type of dorm I wanted didn't exist for freshmen.
They didn't offer it for freshmen?
Yeah.
And what do you have?
Unless you were in the honors college or the wellness environment. I didn't get into the honors college, and I didn't want to be in the wellness environment.
Did you apply to the honors college?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know. And what's the wellness environment?
It basically it's the same as okay. So UVM has different
University of Vermont.
University of Vermont. That's where I go.
I wasn't trying to correct you. I was trying to tell the audience.
Yeah, I go to University of Vermont. Therefore, UVM.
Yeah, UVM.
So UVM has their dorms are different. You get assigned a learning community before you get assigned a dorm, and depending on what learning community you're in is depending on what dorm you're in. So I was in the sustainability community.
Sustainability.
Yeah, so all freshmen in the sustainability community are either in Marsh, Austin, or Tupper. Uh-huh. So the wellness environment is just another learning community. You basically have to sign another contract saying you're not going to drink or smoke, and the RAs are a lot stricter, but you can get away with drinking and smoking. Just you have to be extra smart about it versus smoking with your RA.
No smoking with the RA.
Well, I mean, in Tupper, yes. In wellness, no.
And what community you were in? Sustainability. Correct. Lindsey was sustainability.
Why are you taking notes?
Because I have to write a description later. It's the hardest part of my podcast. So, and what did you have a roommate?
I did.
How did that work out?
Fine. I mean, it wasn't toxic. We were best friends. On a day-to-day basis, it was fine.
It was peaceful coexisting?
Nah, quiet coexisting. It wasn't peaceful. Because I don't think we got along. We just didn't argue. We kind of just pushed everything under the rug and had a mutual hatred for each other. But we never expressed the hatred.
God, so you didn't fight.
No.
It was just like a cold, like an old married couple that didn't talk.
Yeah, there would be days going where I did not talk to her, and she also doesn't. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to go and have this bite me in the ass.
We don't want this to bite you in the ass. Probably no one's listening, but you just never know.
If you have other follow-up questions, I will say this not on a recorded line forever.
It was a little. I will say this. This won't bite you on the ass. I will say that it was a little unfortunate because they did have the ability to select each other as roommates.
Yeah, we met on Instagram.
And it seemed like a good match.
Correct.
So we went in with a lot of positive thoughts. And unfortunately, it didn't turn out to be
but it's fine. She wasn't... Well, her mess didn't go to my mess.
Right.
It was... We kind of just stuck to our own thing. Right. Had opposite schedules, but for the most part, it was fine.
Okay, good. And what do you have coming up for your second year?
So my learning community I'm in is in Global Connections.
Global Connections.
And their dorms are called Living and Learning, which is also abbreviated to LNL. But LNL has the tutoring center in it, plus dorms. The tutoring center, the Prism Center, which is the safe space for LGBTQ plus community students to go to. The Mosaic Center, which is where the people of color have a safe space to go to. And there's some other offices in there. And then there's LNLA through E, and I'm in LNLE.
And what did you say at the beginning? You said that everybody's before they get the dorm is in a learning community?
So it's very different for freshmen and for sophomores.
Yeah.
For freshmen, you get assigned a learning community.
Freshmen get a learning community.
And then you pick your dorm, but it's only certain dorms for each learning community. Mm-hmm. For sophomores, you pick your dorm first because learning community really does not affect your life.
And living and learning is
Global Connections.
Living
and Learning is a dorm.
Living
communities is what Global Connections is called, and
so your learning community is called Global Connections.
Living community.
Your living community.
Yeah.
I wrote learning community. Your living community is Global Connections. And Global Connections is in a dorm called Living and Learning.
Correct.
Got it.
Which has tutoring center, offices, Prism Center, Mosaic Center,
and
the Skinny Pancake.
Just a shout out, though, you talked about the Prism and Mosaic being safe spaces. Mosaic is the safe space for people of color.
I explained that.
I know. And just a shout out, if you're visiting the University of Vermont, the people at the Mosaic Center, they don't like if you enter the door to go through the center to go out the other door to get inside the building.
Yeah, no, just go to the LNL entrance.
Yeah, it's not designed to be a main entrance to the building. It's designed to be a door entrance into the Mosaic Center. They don't like when you do that.
That's based off what Dad and my brother David did.
From personal experience. I was sitting there and trying to figure out how to get from here to there. And
no. My dorm was right on top of it, but I would never cut through it because it doesn't even make any sense.
Right. I'm an explorer.
Yeah, but it's a living learning community. So there's also the Skinny Pancake, which is a crate place and other snacky stuff, and then the University Marché, which is a 7-Eleven type place.
It's a market. But they pronounce it Marché.
Yeah, it's...
The French spelling of market.
Well, it's MARCHE with an apostrophe, a little asterisk on top.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's French or not, but it's a 7-Eleven grab and go type place.
Yeah, it's a market. It's
but then there's the marketplace. So you can't call it the marketplace.
Okay.
But then there's the Waterman Market. Right. So you can't call it the market.
It just sounds to me
it's the University Marché.
It sounds to me like when people call Target to make it sound fancy.
No, it's because there's the Waterman Market and then the Marketplace and then the Marché.
Gotcha. I was just thinking that University of Vermont, Burlington, Vermont's fairly close to Montreal.
Yeah, there's a Canada flag in the gym next to the U.S. flag.
Have you been to Canada since you started UVM?
I accidentally drove to Canada.
You did?
I drove from Vermont to New York to Canada back to New York.
Did you go into Canada, or did you turn around once you got there?
We took when we went into Canada.
Yeah, did you have to show your driver's license and stuff?
No, there was no one there.
All right. And then what was the process like for selecting your dorm room for sophomore year?
So basically, you had to declare if you were in a roommate group or not. Mm-hmm. So I didn't have a roommate group. So I basically was going quote unquote random, I guess you could say. But I knew I wanted a single or a single in a suite. So it wouldn't make sense for me to have a roommate group if I wanted a single.
Right.
So yeah, I wanted a single, so I didn't have a roommate group. So depending on if you had one roommate or two roommates or no roommates in your roommate group, you got assigned different times. So the people with no roommates in the roommate group got the last times to pick, like the last couple of days to pick. And so you get like assigned a time. I got 2:50. And on a day when I was coming home for break and I had a 4 p.m. flight.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. I remember that.
So that was interesting. Thankfully, Burlington is super, super small. And my dorm is on the same street as the airport.
She had a 4 o'clock flight at a 2:50 appointment to register for a dorm.
It only took like 2 minutes, and I knew it was going to take 2 minutes, but it was interesting.
And the problem is in Burlington, the Ubers are not always reliable, and sometimes it could be there in 5 minutes, but sometimes it could be there in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So I had prearranged a car service.
That was very helpful.
That would just and you want to get it's anxious. I know, like when tickets go on sale, right? You're anxious at that time. You need to get that anxiety away.
Yeah, and I didn't have to check a bag, so it was fine. And the Burlington airport's so small,
super close. So
I wasn't the last one on the plane.
Oh, good. So I arranged a car to just wait at her dorm room. She registered. She got her class. She jumped in the car and came home.
Got my dorm, not my class.
Got her. Dorm.
Registering for classes and registering for dorms are very, very different.
Yeah, to you they're different, but for my purposes, they're basically the same.
Not at all.
No, but I don't have to do the work.
Sure, yeah, so but one's at 6:30 in the morning.
I know. I said the wrong thing because I do as a father. I just have to. I know that you have to go register, and I know I have to set up the car. Yeah, but I forgot.
So because I didn't have a roommate, and also I was towards so there's 2 days for non-roommate group people. I was towards the end of the first day, and there was very limited options. However, I got the exact dorm I wanted and the exact branch of L&L I wanted.
That's great.
So it was awesome.
Well, I'm very happy to hear
that. It turned out perfectly. And then some people I don't like were complaining because they didn't get their dorms that they wanted. So I thought it was karma.
On the message boards, you get to see people venting a little bit.
But I had a very lucky housing story. No one else I've talked to has a lucky housing story. It's hell. It's not fun.
It's not how. Lindsey taught me a word. It's called housing anxiety.
What?
You said people have housing anxiety?
Insecurity.
Housing insecurity.
Yeah, but it's not.
That's a different word. Tell me what it means. Tell our audience on the Real Estate Finder podcast what it means to be housing insecure.
Insecure is not having a house and being unhoused.
Oh.
Yeah, no, you do not want to say that I have housing insecurity. I have the opposite.
You have the opposite. I know. So tell me then, what is it called? People that are just anxious about what they're going to do for housing next year. The sophomores start
just anxious. I don't know. There's no term for it.
Okay. You know what happens is on all the message boards and the Facebook groups is that sophomores start looking for their junior year housing at the beginning of sophomore year.
Yeah.
Which I think is difficult because, if I was a landlord and I had a place rented, I wouldn't have it. I wouldn't be showing it until it was available again. I wouldn't be thinking as a landlord of next year. So, and then if you find a place that's available, they're not going to hold it for you for a year.
Oh, because there's a housing, shortage in Burlington, Vermont. Anyways,
that's what I was talking about with insecurity.
Yeah, housing shortage. No, it's a different word.
Crisis.
There's
a housing crisis.
It's a housing crisis,
and it's for both the regular citizens of Vermont, but also the students at the school.
Yeah.
They both go through it.
Yeah.
So Lindsey and I went to Burlington this past weekend.
Yay! I needed to go back to Vermont and just reset myself. I had too much of Florida. I need to just go and like touch some Vermont grass.
Yeah, we were planning on starting house hunting for junior year in the fall.
But I saw a perfect dream house.
You saw a perfect dream house?
On Zillow.
On Zillow.
In Florida.
Yeah, we were in Florida and we were on Zillow. I liked it too. I thought that could be a good house. So
it was yellow.
You like the color?
No, that's my favorite color.
Yes. So
and they reduced their price by $55,000, and 5 is my favorite number. So the fact that it was yellow and the fact that it had 5s in it, I thought it was a sign.
Yes. So, I don't know that I was ready yet to start searching for houses, but over the year, we have looked at houses on and off.
Yeah, well, because Mom was saying, not to like throw her under the bus or anything, but she was saying that we should start looking at Zillow. So that's how we started.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what did you think about? So I try to explain. So we were going up to see a house, and I said, well, if we're going, we should see other houses too. And it's always good to see a lot of houses. So the first house that we saw, the house that we went there to see, I should say.
That wasn't the first house that we saw.
The house that we went there to see, I should say. What did you think about it in real life versus what did you think about it seeing it on the internet?
I really liked it. I think the bathroom threw me off. When you were sitting on the toilet, it was right next to the radiator, right next to it. Like, you couldn't get any closer if you wanted to.
I was calling it toaster burns.
You didn't let me finish.
Oh, sorry.
So when the radiator was on in the winter, you would get toaster burns.
Oh, I'm sorry. I stepped on the line.
You do that a lot.
Yeah, I do. It was interesting. The house was listed.
No, but you didn't let me finish up
sorry.
what else I was liked about it. Well, the basement's really unfinished. But we knew that going into it, and the garage was kind of falling apart. But besides of those 3 things, I really liked it, except for the fact that they had cats, and I'm allergic to cats, and I got grossed out from the cats. And I'm I love animals, but these cats were really hairy. And then it was also weird going through old people's stuff, really strange. And they had a lot of stuff, and it was a lot of dust. So I kind of got grossed out from the dust and the cat hair. However, I really liked the house, besides the crumbling garage and unfinished basement and toaster burns. But the outside is really, 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 really pretty. And there's a sauna. Yeah, I meant the backyard. And there's a sauna. The other bathroom situation's a little strange. It's 2 1/4 baths. So the main bath just has a toilet in it, and then it's connected to the kitchen, which is kind of gross because you can't even wash your hands, and then you would go and touch food, and that's disgusting. But then the one in the basement has a toilet, a regular sink, a deep dish slop sink, a sketchy shower, and a washer and dryer machine, all in one room.
Yeah, it's basically the laundry room. It's the laundry room in an unfinished basement. That's why there's a slop sink for the laundry room, and then a toilet and a hand sink and a weird shower in a big, wide open laundry room.
But I really, besides those strange quirks, I really liked it.
It was advertised.
And it was in the perfect location. It's 10 minutes to campus and then 10 minutes downtown, and it's on a dead-end, blocked-off street. And Burlington isn't super safe. There's a lot of break-ins and stuff, but it's as safe as you can be.
There's a lot of things I liked about the house, and yes, there's car break-ins and apartment break-ins, and the way that this was in a dead-end street in a cul-de-sac, I thought was off the main, not near any of the main roads. I thought was a nice, safe location. That's one of the things I really liked about it. It was advertised as 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. So I thought, if Lindsey had a bedroom and a bathroom, if she had a roommate, bedroom and a bathroom, and then they either a third roommate or keep that room empty. And Wendy and I can say that when we visit.
But it's really 2.5 beds and 2.25 baths. The third bed, there's two decent sized bedrooms.
2 bedrooms that
on
were
the
about
smaller side.
10 by 12.
Yeah, and then there's one that is more of an office.
Very small. You could fit like a crib or a twin sized bed. It really wouldn't be a proper bedroom. And let's talk about the bathroom situation. Again, Lindsey described it. I'm going to describe it again. On the main floor, you had a room with a toilet. And it was in the kitchen, so if you don't have a sink, you go wash your hands in the sink. Fine. Upstairs with the 3 bedrooms or the 2.5 bedrooms, you shared a full bathroom. Okay.
With a toaster burn.
If it wasn't for the toaster burns, okay, fine. But the 3 bedrooms sharing 1 bathroom is very different than thinking 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. And the full-size bathroom in the unfinished basement seemed to be like, well, it's not like you're going to go from the upstairs down to the basement.
And it's really creepy down there.
Really creepy, even though there's a sauna. And it's creepy, moldy, musty.
And
basement.
it floods when it snows.
Well, it gets moist when it floods, and then there's a dehumidifier and there's a sump pump system. That just happens in a house. Not used to that in Florida. So it went from a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom to a 2.5 bed, and how do you count the bathroom? At least the powder room on the main floor for guests, or if you're on the main floor. The whole house was 1,100 square feet, so pretty small.
It was like the perfect size.
Cute little house.
But like the actual specifics were quirky.
The backyard was gorgeous, and there was a backyard deck on the same flooring as the kitchen and family room. So if you opened up these large French doors and just had this whole inside-outside
Yeah,
room.
I really liked the main floor. The basement and the upper floor were a little strange. But the kitchen was perfect, and the living spaces were fun.
So then we saw a 2-bedroom apartment in a nice apartment building with about 25.
Smelled like pickles.
With about 25 units.
It was strange. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. She didn't like it. And then we saw a townhouse that may be perfect, but is it too soon to talk about?
I mean, it's too late to say if it's too soon to talk about, because the offer got accepted 30 minutes ago.
We are under negotiations. I wasn't going to talk about it just yet. What did it feel like to? All right, so we looked at I'm going to say 5 houses.
Yeah.
What did you like house shopping? Looking at different houses?
I got really grossed out by 4 out of the 5 houses that we went to. I think if we went to not gross houses, it would have been better. But I got really grossed out by that other house that we went to that you wanted to see, that I did not want to see, and then the other condo.
The house that I wanted to see was a 6-bedroom right across the street from the campus.
Except for it's not. Physically, it was right across the street from the campus, except for it's a hop, climb, and a jump to actually get to campus.
Yeah, well, that's why
it's really hard. There's no straight shot to get to campus. You have to go through a hill to get to the medical center, and then once you pass
the University of Green Mountains, it's gonna be hilly.
No, but no.
It was on the wrong side of campus that we were looking, but anyway, I like to see. And that's what
And it's on such a main street.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of traffic, but when there is traffic, it's on that specific street.
But for me, seeing houses and seeing locations, and what I realized is I was having fun doing it. So doing it for a living versus now I'm not doing it for a living, doing it as a customer. But if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
That house was gross.
That house was gross.
It was an old frat house, but the frat house, you could tell it was an old frat house.
Well, you didn't go into the basement to see the bar.
I did not want to go into that. I had no interest in going to the basement.
Plus, it had this weird workshop from the 1930s in the basement. Ew. Yeah, it was, and then 6 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms.
It was weird.
Yeah, it was kind of gross, but it was
moist in there, and dark and creepy, and there
the whole house was dark.
There were weird stains everywhere, and holes in the wall.
Yeah. So when that was the last house that we saw, and we were with a realtor that I was just paying per showing, and we went back to the townhouse that everybody kind of liked with him just to see it again.
My house.
So we were on the. It was weird for me to be on the customer side of the transaction and working with a decent realtor that I had found. Although in doing it, I figured out how I could have done it by myself if I wanted to. Not that I wanted to, but it was interesting. And then I was interviewing real estate attorneys and inspectors and that sort of thing. So the inspector asked me if I wanted to do a radon inspection. And in Florida, we don't do radon inspections.
What's radon?
Radon is an invisible, odorless gas that comes out of rock.
Oh, can we do that?
Yeah. Now, usually if there's a basement, you definitely want to do a radon test. What I said to the inspector is, if you think there's a shot of us finding radon, because there was no basement, if you think there's a shot of us finding radon, let's do the test. Because if you find radon, I could ask the seller to take some money off the price of the house. And then I just won't do anything about it.
No, if you find radon, you should get rid of the radon.
You can open up the windows and a fan and air out the house.
You'd let me stay in a poisonous house?
When I sold my house in Marlboro.
What?
When I sold my house in Marlboro, the person did a radon test. And it came out, but we hadn't lived in the house so long, none of the windows were open for so long, so it came out that there was radon, so we just opened up all the windows and set some fans, and then there was no radon test.
No, we should actually get rid of the radon.
Get rid of the radon. Yeah. So that's a choice too. But either way.
No, please.
But either way, I only did the test because I thought if it was positive, I'd have been money. I'm not. I should tell you, I'm not nervous about radon.
Okay.
It's not the same as like toxic mold or anything like that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was fun to be on that side of the table, and we did some negotiating, and
and we got $26,000 under the asking price. Is that good?
Pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good. Did you watched me negotiate? How was I?
Good, I think.
Mm-hmm. But
you also
but didn't I?
You didn't know the cost of the house when you were negotiating.
That is true.
So it was a little weird.
That is true. I did misinterpret the price of the house when Mom was telling us. When Mom was telling us about a different unit in the condo association, I thought she was telling us about the unit. She was very clear.
In her defense, she was very clear it was a different unit.
I think I fell asleep while she was talking. So, but do you remember I told you that all right, so the asking price is this, so I'm going to offer this. They're going to respond this way, then I'm going to respond that way. And I told you what was going to happen 5 moves later.
No.
I was going to make the first offer so that they come down and then I'd come up.
Yeah,
and
but
come up.
That didn't happen.
It did.
What?
It did.
No.
It happened in all the...
Not in 5 steps.
And it happened in all the numbers that I said. They had their asking price, so we had our price, so they came down a little bit, so I came up a little bit, and then we ended up in the middle at the exact number.
Well,
that I thought...
It happened in 3 steps.
Well, the reason I said 5 was asking price being the first, then our offer. Then they came down a little, and then we came up a lot, and then we ended up agreeing at the number that I thought Mom told me the price was.
Yeah, for the other unit. But by the way, my unit is so amazing compared to the other unit. The appliances are newer. The flooring is newer. My room's a little bit bigger.
Your room's bigger.
The outside patio is double the size.
And that unit it's an L shape.
And it's hard to park in the parking space. My unit's just way better.
The townhouse was built into an L, and that the comp that people were talking about was in right right in the middle, right where the two lines of an L meet, like in that corner. So it was shoved into that corner.
And like first is the worst, and like second is the best, and like that the other unit was like unit 1, and like my unit's unit 2.
Was unit 7?
Oh, I thought it was unit 1.
Unit 1 is the one that my friend used to live in.
No, I know, but I thought Mom was talking about unit 1 or unit 7.
She was talking about unit 7.
She was also talking about unit 1 at one point.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I wasn't paying attention.
So like 1 and 7, same thing, and then like 2 is they look similar.
I thought people were talking about.
I get them confused.
I thought people were talking about 11, and I liked 11 a lot.
Yeah.
So,
but like either way, my unit's just so good compared to the other units.
Yeah. So we'll have some decoration to do. It does not have air conditioning.
Boo! We have to get air conditioning.
Yeah. Does not have air conditioning, so.
At least for my room.
Yeah. So we'll have to, we'll do some lights. We'll put some. I realize we don't have to put TVs in, right?
I'd probably want one TV in like the living room.
Because you don't watch TV.
On
the TV.
I'll watch on the TV if I had like.
So in the living room.
I watch hotel TV sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think one. I don't need it specifically in my room, but I think in the living room.
Okay. Cool. So so that's the.
And we have like a TV in my storm that I'll probably use.
Yep. So we had a successful mission finding real estate. That's
yay.
And it was interesting to be on the other side of the table. It's interesting to shop with you, and I think I like the spot. Also, I do think it's a safe spot where you are.
I think it's not as safe as the other one, but it's a little safe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not safe.
It's not safe. And then, and I think what I really liked about this one is I think it's much closer to campus.
Yeah, it's literally in the backyard of one of the main buildings on campus.
Yeah. So that would encourage you to go.
And it's right, and I'll pass UVM Hillel on the way.
Yes. UVM. Shout out to UVM Hillel and Chabad of Burlington. You're surrounded by Jews.
Ugh. But I escaped Boca.
They're not Boca Jews.
Oh, good.
The interesting thing.
The Chabad of UVM used to be in Unit 1.
Yeah. The one of the things I didn't like about the original unit that you wanted to see the 3-bedroom house that was really 2.5. I was really sitting there going, if it's raining, is Lindsey going to walk to class?
That would be me anyway.
That'd be you anyway? Wherever you're.
Wherever I am. So my condo, the house. I'm not going if it's pouring.
Oh, no. Oh, I do not want to hear that. All right, let's change the thought. Let's Lindsey, just give us some other happy something we can end with here.
I'm getting a condo for my birthday.
Oh boy.
Yay!
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on the Real Estate Finder podcast with another happy customer of the real estate team.
What?
You're a happy customer of the real estate.
Yeah, but I'm not your customer.
No. All right.
Okay.
Check us out at realestatefinder.com, and we will see
And if you want a house tour when it's fully furnished, let me know. I'll give you a house tour.
There you go.
The future looks bright and the storms pass by. The sky's dark blue and it's almost that time. Light shows, cameras flash.